Hello everyone, I am Dr. Siddheshwar Chopra and today we'll be starting wave mechanics. Introduction. The development of classical mechanics is based on the Newtonian three laws. Classical mechanics could not explain several phenomena like photoelectric effect, Compton effect, Raman effect, etc. This inadequacy of classical mechanics led to the development of quantum or wave mechanics. The deterministic concept of classical physics does not hold good in quantum physics. In quantum physics, every system is described in a probabilistic way. Max Planck introduced the idea of photons as discrete or quantum packets of electromagnetic energy, which is equal to h nu, where Planck's constant is a very small quantity, which is 6.62 into 10 to the power minus 34 joules second. And it is due to the smallness of h, the quantum theory is applicable only where energy changes and dimensions of particles are very, very small. So we are talking about electrons, protons, very small particles in this case. Wave particle duality. Wave theory of light successfully explained the phenomena like interference, diffraction, and polarization, which show that light possesses a wave nature. But wave theory of light failed to explain the phenomena like photoelectric effect, Compton effect, etc. These phenomena were successfully explained on the basis of Planck's quantum theory, wherein Planck said that the photons have quantized energy. Okay, so according to which light is propagated in small packets bundle of energies called photons. These phenomena indicate that light possesses corpuscular or particle nature. Thus, it can be said that light possesses a dual character, behaving as a wave and as well as a particle or photon. De Broglie hypothesis is a very, very important beginning of this wave mechanics, I should say. In the year 1923, Louis de Broglie proposed that a particle like electron, proton, etc. has a dual nature just like light does. According to de Broglie hypothesis, each material particle in motion behaves as waves, and the wavelength lambda associated with any moving particle of momentum p with mass m and velocity v is given by lambda is equal to h by mv equal to h by p. P is your linear momentum. The waves associated with moving particles are called matter waves or de Broglie waves. Now, how do we get to this formula, which is lambda is equal to h by mv, and this wavelength was called as de Broglie wavelength. We know that for a particle, for a photon, E is equal to h nu and E is equal to mc square. Thereby, we can equate h nu equal to mc square or m is equal to h nu by c square. A photon travels with velocity of light c. Its momentum is given as p is equal to mc because it moves with the velocity c. Substituting for m equal to h nu by c square here, we get h nu by c square into c, and which results in h nu by c. And again, we just open up the formula for nu, which is the frequency, can be written in terms of c by lambda. So hereby you get h by lambda on the right hand side, and left hand side you have p. So we can rearrange to get lambda is equal to h by p. So that is how we get the de Broglie wavelength formula. Now we can still open up this de Broglie wavelength into a few other formulae. These are very useful formulae. H by P is also equal to H by root of 2 m naught EV, that is your electron volt. And if we substitute the value of m naught, which is the rest mass of electron, and charge of an electron, that is E, we get it to be equal to 12.27 divided by root of V angstrom. For which is the case specifically for electrons accelerated through a potential difference V. So this is an important formula. Also, there is another modification to this formula. Lambda is also equal to h by root of 2 m naught kt, where k is your Boltzmann constant, T is your temperature. m naught is the rest mass and h is the Planck's constant. This is the case for the particles accelerated with some thermal energy kT. Now, phase and group velocity, the velocities of the individual waves which superimpose to produce the wave packet representing the particle are different. The wave packet as a whole has a different velocity from the waves that comprise it. So phase velocity and group velocity are very important concepts when we have to understand the wave mechanics as such. What is phase velocity? Basically, phase velocity is the rate at which the phase of the wave propagates in space. Group velocity is the rate at which the envelope of the wave packet propagates. So what is a wave packet we are talking about here? If several waves of slightly different wavelengths of frequencies and phases are superposed together, one would get a resultant, which is a localized wave packet. So we can see in the diagram here, this is the wave packet, uh, which is a superimposition of many waves, which are slightly different from each other in lambda. A wave packet is localized in nature and hence describes a particle quite well, because we are associating now waves to a particle. So basically we need to talk about some localized concept, which is wave packet in this case, which will be describing the particle. The central wavelength of the wave packet is given as lambda is equal to h by p. So that is all for this lecture.